They live in the dark corners of your house. Aliens.
Yuck. What should I do?
Get the new and improved Space Quest 1 with activated Roger Wilco. Unchecked aliens can be a real problem. They can actually do damage to your home. So protect your loved ones and get the new and improved Space Quest 1. Now entirely re-illustrated and reanimated. It kills aliens dead. Space Quest 1, aliens check in, but they won't check out.
Oh my God, they're doing a rain commercial.
Terrible ad.
Love it.
Oh,
love it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Play Retro. This is Play Retro, where we talk about old-ass video games. I'm one of your hosts, Scott Johnson, and I love space. I love space so much, I am willing to do just about anything to get to space, in video game form anyway. Hell, I'll even go back 30-plus years if I have to, just to find out some of the humor and mechanics sort of suck. But whatever, it's space, and we have a quest!
We do, Johnny, and I'm your other host, Brian Dunaway, and I'm about to text parse my way out of this dead-end janitor job in space and become the hero of the galaxy. Here we go. Type go left. You did. No, forgot to save F5. F freaking 5.
Yeah. Could you
just hand me my broom so I can accept my mediocre. What's that now?
Could you? Sorry. Could you F5 back then? Is that a thing you could do?
Oh yeah, you could totally F5.
I don't remember that. That's cool. I thought it was later.
If you read the okay, so if you played Space Quest this past week using the version 2.2, you can definitely F5. Version 1, where you could type in Ken. Get it, Sierra people? You know who Ken is. Version 1, you could do different things, but you couldn't. I don't think you could F5 on that version because I don't think it had the menu bar. But I think you had to type in stuff.
Okay.
You had to type it in. But by the time you got to version 2.2, which is what I played this week, come on.
Yeah.
What am I?
You're not going to. What are you going to do? Trying to kill yourself with a freaking keyboard nightmare game? That's what this is. We're talking about Space Quest. You might say to yourselves, man, I remember that being the greatest thing I ever played. You did, and it was. But guess what? Times were changing, and it very quickly became a very archaic way to play a game like this. Point and clicks ate its lunch, but it was still an important series. Even today, people think very fondly about that game, and there's even a new game coming.
Don't get upset. Yeah. We know there's point and click by the time we get to 4, and we even know there's a Space Quest 1 remake in VGA that used the later engine, but we're talking about the AGI engine versions of the first Space Quest 1 through 3. Got your EGA on. If those words mean something to you, you're old.
Yeah, we're talking 1987, I think, for that first one, right? Was that the year?
Right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, 1987. Very good.
Long time ago.
No, 86.
86. Sorry about that. 86. You are correct.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, we'll talk more about that coming up soon. Before we do, though, kind of our retro weeks. I really had time for nothing. Look, let me tell you this. I have a good combo for you, all right? Because the only time I got to play any games at all this week was a moment of downtime. My mom took a bad spill, shattered her hip and a bunch of her femur, had a bunch of surgery. She's in a rehab center now. Everybody's doing whatever they're doing. As a result, that's all kind of that's been going on. And we had to push the show. That's why it's happening today. But I did have time to wind down in a nice hot bath. And I needed a little escape time in there, right? Got in the hot bath. And I dare you to find a better combo than a bath, a nice little handheld device of any kind, don't care what, and a copy of Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stones. There's no better. That's
a good one.
No better treatment for what ails you than that combo. It's fantastic.
We touched on Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stones in an episode earlier in the series, and we need to get back to that now that you said you were taking an ice bath and jumped into a hot bath.
No ice baths. No, I don't do that. Those are for weirdos. My daughter has an ice bath and she uses it. I freaking can't do it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Ice bath and hot bath. Come on, you got jump, die.
Yeah. I just feels like asking me to have a heart attack. You know, like, hey, Scott, you want to test your constitution? Right. Jump in this cold ice and then jump into this hot water. How you feel? Like, I'm sure it'd be fine, but I can't do that. I can't do it. Forget it. It's not happening.
I know as often as I fear every time I get into a tub, I don't don't get many tub baths. Most of them are showers. Get in and out.
Very rare.
But when I do occasionally get a chance to, lay in the tub with a handheld, I always had the fear that I'm going to drop it in the water. I have yet to ever do that, though.
I'm always very careful in there. I don't know what it is. I got the grip strength that kicks in or something, and I never drop.
Yeah, I do too, man. I'm like, oh, must hold on tightly.
Yeah, never let go. I'll do that with my iPad too. But like sometimes, one time I forgot I had earbuds in, and I laid back a little weird. I didn't go underwater. I just laid my neck back a little bit, and one of the earbuds just popped out and went flunk right into the water. Took me forever to find it. So I'm like, scrambling to find the damn thing. Got it out, dried it out, let it sit for a few days, fired it up, worked great until it didn't. So that was great.
Yeah. I say that I did I do like you said, you do the death grip when you're in the tub. But with that being said, I'm always the person who makes things worse. So like, when you drop something, you could just drop it and it just falls to the floor.
Sure.
And, you pick it up. Yeah. I'm not that person. I'm always try to hacky sack it and end up making it way worse.
Yeah. Very rarely. Once in a while, you can hacky sack things to safety, but it is not the prominent way things go ever.
No, that is not yes, exactly. And this morning I was trying to take my medicine. I had my medicine in one hand and I had opened it. It was singular, by the way, allergies. Yeah. And I had a whole new bottle and I picked one out and I stuck it in my mouth and I went to go grab my water and I almost dropped my water in my left hand, had the pills in my right hand. And I went, huh! And I grabbed it and blue.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Pills
everywhere. Yep. Now pets are allergy free because they found your pills and they're eating. And I just dropped
the water bottle. What would have been the worst that happened?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. I've done this before with my like a pair of glasses that fell off the back of my head or something. I forgot I had them up there, and I've saved them before with this method. But glasses are different. They're not round and heavy. They are a kind of thing that will kind of straddle your foot if you hold it up in the right way. So I've done that, but I don't recommend it for phones. Never works. You might break, might break the serious fall though if you do your foot. So even if you don't catch your phone and you're on a hard like cement surface outside somewhere at you're at the fair and you go, I dropped my phone. Then if you hit it with your foot, at least as a small bump, you've been like one of those balconies in the Indiana Jones movie where he slows him down so he won't die, but he rips through it. It's like that. Yeah. Momentum killer.
Yeah. I'm kidding. Is there a term for that? Like
I don't know what that
compensated overcorrection or something? Is there like a universal term? Because it's also do the same thing with doors. Like if I go to shut it and I kind of miss the door, I'll end up like slamming it instead. It's like my body just convulses and goes raw.
Yeah, sometimes you just overextend.
Yeah,
it's good when it's good strength and instinct when you're trying to save your kids from falling off of stuff. And I think that's what that still is. We're just not using it right later. Our kids grow up.
I was always catching my kids with my foot. It's like, oh, we're at the fair. Ah!
Yeah, you're always like, you stick your foot out and block them from things, stuff like that. They fall off a bed and you just twist in unnatural ways.
Doing that?
Yeah, I quit doing that now because they're all too old.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Kick them in the back of the head is all that happens anyway.
But we still have the instinct is the point, right? We still do it.
Yeah, we still got it. Yeah,
so
it still stinks.
Got to go somewhere. And in Brian's case, it went somewhere all over the floor. Well, anyway, we're going to talk more about this game coming. Oh, I didn't hear about your stuff. What have you been doing? Oh, the Flippy Drive. Get an update on the Flippy Drive. What's going on?
I finally got the Flippy Drive. So I ordered this last year. The pre-orders finally got shipped. What's the Flippy Drive? It is a device, a solderless solution. You don't have to solder anything. You put that right in your GameCube. It's a Flippy Drive, about $40 or so, I think. Looky here. So let's see if I can get a look at the Flippy Drive. Well, it's kind of dark in here. Let me see if I can get my phone on it real quick.
So that's that shell. The shell is off Brian's GameCube here. We cannot. It's naked. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's naked. So there you go, right there. Yep. So it's this little unit right here. So it's just a little component. It's all well designed. You have to take out some screws, and then you fit it in between where the CD actually plugs in, and you just put it in between it. So you're kind of like hijacking the optical drive. You get to keep your optical drive. The software that runs with it allows you to continue to use your optical drive. You just got an SD card. You put it in there. You can dump the ROMs and it's pretty cool. I like it. Didn't take me long, except for one thing. I love everything about the flippy drive and the install. It was super easy, except for the little black screws they give you. You got to screw into the side of them.
No.
Ooh, that was rough. I dropped the screws in the most inconvenient places 3 times.
It's talking about those instincts. Yeah, you can't stop that with your foot.
Can't do it.
No.
But man, I'm enjoying the crap out of it.
How much does the flippy drive run you? What did it put you back? So people know.
It's like $49. I think it's still only $49. You can get the one
cheap.
Cheap. You have to wait a little bit. It takes about, I think it's $50 by the time you include shipping if you live in the US. But it doesn't take that long. It runs the Swiss boot. If you're familiar with any of that kind of stuff, allows you to load up your GameCube games right there. You don't have to do any that. My favorite part is I've been backing up all of my games. So I got 1080 Avalanche in there right now.
Game.
I backed up, took about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's how long it took to back it up, is 20 minutes?
It took 20 minutes. They're working on some software improvements to do it in about half that time.
Still pretty fast. I expected way longer than 20 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Those discs are like 1.4 gigabytes or something, and so it's a pretty neat trick. And I got all my games. I got about half my collection right now. I just put them back to back, boom, 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 and just ripped them straight to that little SD card. And now I can load it up there, and I have to worry about my optical drive failing on me.
That's
so
great.
Far,
yep.
Kind of scaring me because it's been making noises lately. So I'm like, ooh.
Are these ROMs you can trust too? So if Brian's like down the road, he's like, man, I really want to play my copy of Wave Race on my Ambernick. He's got the ROM to do it right from the damn disc, right?
I got it right from the disc, baby.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I love GameCube is definitely one of my favorite. Every time I get it out, I forget how much I love the GameCube. It's just one of my most favorite consoles in the universe. Most of my favorite games are on here. I played a ton of Chibi Robo last night. Apparently they got a spiritual successor coming out. Andrew sent me that. Remember
what's
Andrew
that called?
ELR days?
Oh yeah, that Andrew? No way.
Yeah. He sent me a link. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but he said, here's the spiritual successor. It's like Bro Chibi or something. Is something similar, a spiritual successor to the original Chibi Robo.
Yeah.
And that and Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Those are my games.
I do. Those are a great time. I was not a Luigi's Mansion fan, but I appreciated what it was. And for the most part, in that generation, I think I enjoyed the GameCube more than I did my PS2 or my freaking Xbox.
And it's just sad because absolutely the PS2's library is huge. And certainly there's tons of titles. But I'm not a big collection guy. I like a handful of games. I really have a handful of games I really love as opposed to a whole bunch of games that's mediocre. But I guess it's all of us, right?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing the PS2 was missing was all the Nintendo titles. That was my reason for liking the Cube so much. And I think the GameCube, the GameCube was the last time they tried to keep up with everybody hardware-wise. They gave up after that. The Wii was basically a GameCube, and everybody had moved on, graphically anyway. But at the time, it held up well to those other devices. I thought the controller was really cool and unique. And yeah, I preferred buying GameCube versions of third-party games as well. So I would play them there, and I like them a lot. I got this back in the back of it. It's an adapter, allows me to plug into HDMI. And since this uses Swiss boot, it allows you to use the 480p progressive. It looks pretty good. So Swiss boot
upscaling and stuff.
Something to do with the Swiss. What's going on with Swiss boot? What's the point?
I think it's because it is a all-in-one device. I think is the reason why it's called Swiss boot. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I could be totally wrong. You can correct me. I just always assumed that's what it meant. That it was like an all-in-one utility that allows you to rip, save, do cheats, do all the things.
It's not full of holes.
Card copies.
It's not full of holes like Swiss cheese or something like that, right?
I haven't got that deep yet. Okay. We'll find out. But I'll tell you what, I love my Mad Catz memory card, and I had fun copying all that data over from my Mad Catz to the SD card. So I got my saves all nice and tucked in, so that I don't have to worry about my Chibi Robo, because that's a long game.
Yeah.
Got to do a lot of saves in that game.
Yeah, no, you ain't messing around in that game. Yeah, we talked. We had some pre-show discussion about how many blocks were in those stupid cards, and we're still not sure how it worked. But when we knew how many blocks there were, we don't know what that translated to in terms of like actual memory.
I feel like there's probably a very good explainer on the internet, but it's way more fun.
Oh, guaranteed.
Try to guess what the hell a block is.
Yeah, somebody's done the work. We just don't want to go look for it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
jerks.
I'm sure it's a very specific size based on a very specific mathematical computation that I specifically don't care about because it's called blocks.
That's right. Well, if you're looking for Brian's hot new ROM, GameCube ROM site that he uses his flippy drive for, check it out. Coming soon at Brian Dunaway's
I don't share my ROMs
site.
except with very close friends.
That's right. You want my ROMs? You know what's the same people you'd share the discs with if you were if it was 20 years ago.
That's exactly how I look at it. Yep.
That's the way to do it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, all right then. Let's get straight to it. We have to talk about Space Quest 1 through 3, whether we like it or not. And so we're getting in. We're going. We're doing it.
Shall we play a game?
It's not exactly fair to say that we wouldn't want to. Obviously, it's a seminal title in the history of, PC adventure games. You can't just ignore it. But there's a lot of things about it that just don't hold up, I'm afraid. But that doesn't mean there isn't value in it. In fact, it's the place I'd rather spend my time back then than, say, the King's Quest stuff or any of those. Those weren't interesting to me because I was more of a sci-fi kid. And, I like fantasy a lot more now. But back then, I was way more leaning. If you said, hey, I got lasers and spaceships or I've got swords and magic, I was like, lasers and spaceships, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, come on. I mean, what am I, a knight?
Yeah.
The round table? Come on.
Right, Knights of the Round something.
Yeah.
But this game...
Only round I like is my disc-shaped spaceship.
That's right.
Enterprise.
It kind of is sort of like that. But this is, another parody-ish game. Is this Sierra Online, right? Am I remembering that right? Yeah,
it is Sierra Online, and so it's according to the sources you look at because Sierra has changed its name many times. But I believe at the time of this publishing, it was Sierra Online.
Yeah, I think that's
which
right.
is weird because it was 86, right? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
But it was those two guys from Andromeda guys, Mark Crowe and Scott Murphy, and their company name or their development name was Two Guys from Andromeda. And you may think to yourself, have I heard that recently? And the answer would be sort of. They've been trying for years to bring back a spiritual successor to this thing. They've got one in the chamber this year.
Yeah.
That could be exciting. And
it's called Space Venture, and you may have backed it back in 2014. It's been going on that long, but they've been most recently active and supposedly going to release it very soon on Steam. But I'm sure people who have been Kickstarter since 2014 are probably going, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you haven't.
I done heard it.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Just like this, like Scott has some disappointment layered in with this week's Space Quest game. I never played until part 4, so I never played the text parser versions, so I wasn't disappointed at all. As a matter of fact, I was very excited.
Yeah, if you play the newer stuff, post 3, you're going to go, what's wrong? And there's nothing wrong with those. But the early ones, you had to type what, it was Zork, but with some graphics. Is what it was.
Yeah,
I'm not even
text parsing baby.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that's bad. Like, I think we're on the verge of a whole new era of amazing Zork-like experiences with AI as sort of the backbone of LLMs that can take you through an adventure and have some specific world rules and that kind of thing. Nobody's done anything amazing yet, but that stuff's coming. So I love it. It's a great way to work your imagination, all that other stuff. But when I see this presentation, like right now we're looking at a screen, there's a guy at a console, there's a little robot flying around.
It's not just any guy. That's our janitor.
That's our janitor, Roger.
Yep.
Wilco.
Roger Wilco.
Yeah.
That's right. I hear you and I will comply.
Yeah. Roger Wilco, that whole thing.
Right.
But anyway, he's running around doing stuff. And in my mind, there's a disconnect just because it's today. If this would have been back then, I would have been fine. And I was fine back then.
Right.
But back then, you would type text like go left, and he would go left, or enter door, and he would enter door. You do text parsing, as Brian said. And when you see this for the first time, this many years later, you immediately go, where's my mouse? Where's my cursor? There's no cursor. What? How am I supposed to click on that computer? Like that kind of stuff. really, it'll throw you
Right.
for a hot minute. You'll have trouble getting back.
And you know, if you're playing this on Steam or Good Old Games, Steam had a great deal on all I think of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and for like $6 or something. And Good Old Games has part 1, which is 1, 2, and 3 of this. And all of them use keyboards.
Yep.
So you don't use the mouse, but you do use keyboard directions. So instead of typing in go left, go right, since version 2.2, I believe, which came out in 2006 or something like that, or earlier, you just, if you want to go left, you press left. You want to go right, you go right.
But I think you can use WASD with those, right?
Type things.
I think it was WASD, not even just it had arrow keys, but you could also just WASD in the Steam version.
You could have. I did not explore that option. If that was an option, all I did was just use the arrow keys. That was good enough for me because it was pretty basic. I mean, you tell him to go right or left or up or down on the screen, and he'll keep going in that direction until you hit that direction again. So if you're going right, you hit it once and he starts going right, and then you hit it again, and then he will stop. And that's very important because there's some puzzles very frustrating because they are skill-based puzzles when you've been playing a text parser. For a very long time. In the second one.
And the toggle movement is what it is, and it works fine.
Yeah.
But it is not what you're going to be used to, and you're going to wish this had like gamepad support and all kinds of things. But it's fine because, we're in a different time. The thing is, not every retro game is going to translate perfectly to the way we prefer to control things now. And this is just one of those. It's fine. We're figuring that shit out.
That's not even where the fun is anyway, because you get past that. You accept the fact that, just like all other games we played on here a million times before, it's like at first, like, oh, I hate tank controls. And then you get used to it. And you're like, okay, I can do my tank controls now. I'm not happy about it, but I can do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's good about this game? What's good about this game is constantly asking you to problem solve. You will definitely need the hint book or a walkthrough.
Oh, yes. Get a guide.
Get
a guide.
You'll need a guide. Okay, so you could play it without a guide, but you're not going to. I recently saw somebody on Reddit said, finally, after 20 years, I beat Space Quest. I was like, cool, because he wasn't apparently using any hint books because it could take that long.
That was what he wanted to do, is play it. He wanted to play it without any assistance, right? That was the deal.
Yeah, which is fine in today's stuff. But I mean, everything is painful. So like one of the things that's hilarious and painful is one of the first things you have to do is so you're Roger Wilco, and there's aliens who have taken over your ship, and they've essentially set a time bomb, and you got to get off the ship, and you only got so long to do it. And so you've got to explore, find key cards, avoid being shot by aliens. And eventually you'll have to figure out how to get into an escape pod. So you're rushing along, doing all that stuff the best you can. And then when you get into the freaking pod, the escape pod, it gets really complicated because now you got to turn on engines, you got to throttle up, you got to press buttons for auto nav and all this other stuff. And in the meantime, while you're trying to hurry, because that's like the last task you got to do before you leave the ship is escape pod. And you just know any second now you're going to die because you've already done it 100 times. You've already died 100 times, but you had to go back in your save spots so you can get back to where you're at.
Yep.
They make you close the door and buckle your seatbelt, and they don't make it obvious.
Yeah.
You have to start figuring all that crap out. And so it is constant rinse, die, repeat. So you're or is it die, rinse, repeat?
Wait. What is it?
Some order of those three things. You die, you rinse and repeat. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
right. Yeah.
What you're doing is you're learning along the way. You're learning just a little bit more. You're like, oh, okay, I do this, and then I got to this point in the path and I died. All right, and which are typically pretty funny too. You get a lot of funny deaths in this game. They always mess with you. Head may explode. Don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
That's where the humor comes into play. So yeah, so you're like constantly retracing your steps over and over again, but it's still fun. I find it challenging and fun. I don't know how Scott, how'd you feel about it? I felt like it was a little, maybe it's like,
I think it's actually really fun. I think there's just a period where you got to get used to how this stuff used to control. But you know what I really do like about it is the aesthetic of it. I like the look of this game.
Yeah.
And we're looking at some stuff on a desert planet right now, which sure, it's like 4 colors. or something. Yes, it's very it's rudimentary, but I respect it because I feel like it somehow punches above its weight visually and animation and stuff. It's pretty cool.
8 colors probably is what you have here. Typically.
Yeah, it's got to be,
I don't
right?
think until later would you get. Yeah, when you first start, you probably had like 8 colors, which is funny because you kind of encounter this along the way in several different versions of this. Your character may have the same suit on as the floor. It's like your legs just disappear. It's like, okay, I guess that's what we had to use to do, right?
Yeah.
But every step you take is a question. You know, am I going to die? I don't know. And it is really pixel perfect sometimes where you have to navigate or be in a position that it has to be pixel perfect. You have to be exactly in that spot to not die.
Yeah. And if you're not, well, too bad. You're screwed.
Yeah. Or if you say something wrong or if you do it in the wrong order. And that all sounds very frustrating, but it's always rewarding because one of the things the 2 guys from Andromeda understood that Ken at Sierra doing all the King's Quest and stuff, you know, they weren't doing much humor. LucasArts was doing more humor stuff. And so these guys were kind of like, well, what if we spoofed, you know, space stuff, little Star Trek nods and Star Wars and everything. And
it was definitely like a parody of the state of everything, that stuff. Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, the old one, obviously, because of way earlier.
I mean, all the way down to the story points too. Like the thing that you're trying to do is you're trying to recover the star generator. Anyway, there's a technology that's on the ship where you're a janitor of, and everybody else has been killed, and you got to recover the star generator that's being taken by. It's totally from Star Trek. Remember the Genesis thing?
Yeah, made the planet keep going. Sure.
Yeah, Planet Maker.
Yeah, you had to poop. You had to shoot Spock down there in a big sunglasses case. Yeah. Remember that?
And Spock was all like, he was all on the glass going, the needs of the many outweigh the.
Yeah.
How'd it go again? But yeah, so it was great.
Oh, Spock. Sunglasses case from hell, man. That thing had to let in. Poor guy. And then he was a kid again. Yeah. That was all very weird.
Oh, that's so good. It was so heartbreaking. If you had grown up watching the series.
Oh no, dude. Wrath of Khan will mess you up. But then they just defanged it by taking all that back. It was like,
yeah,
you know.
Oh, the next thing you know, you're talking to whales. Yeah. Okay.
See you later, then.
But you see why you see just from our short discussion, how many fun things could have come up while developing a sci-fi, pretty much untouched at this point in Sierra's history, any sci-fi stuff. So they had a fertile ground.
It's a good point. I don't think I can't think of anything up to that point, right? They've done stuff since, but I think this is it.
Yeah, not to the depth of almost parody they were doing here. So they were just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was the salad days for Mark Crowe and Scott Murphy. This is the good times.
Yeah.
Bad times were to come.
Bad times are coming here. Quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Yeah. I really appreciate the look of this. Look at that spider, dude. Freaking scary as shit. Look at that.
It is so scary. It is amazing how this simple game looks like it was drawn with the most rudimentary just with a little.
How'd they even do that stuff back then? Like how were they drawing pixel imagery? Was it?
I think it was
right?
86, so they probably had some tools.
I mean, I assume they did, but I always my understanding is back in those early days you had to programmatically do it. So it was like X is this position, Y is this position. All right, that's the color we're choosing from this hex grid, whatever. Now it's applied to that one
was
spot.
That was very true for 8-bit computer development, like a couple of years prior to this. But by the time I got to 86, I think we were seeing some stuff where people were using tools to interface with the computer. It looks more hand drawn than a lot of the other stuff. I mean, it still looks rudimentary, but it
might be why I like it. It might be the look of it has like maybe they had better tools than the King's Quest games, for example. Those did not to me.
Yeah.
Those look like shit kind of now. I'm not saying they're not good games. I'm saying they just kind of look bad. This looks cool. Like, look at this. Look at that cracked bridge. You're going to break that shit. Careful. Oh! It almost broke.
And you will break that crap because you can get yourself into a situation. You can only walk over that bridge, I think, like 3 times or something. So you better make sure you've done all the things you want to do over there. And this is a point-based game as well. So, like, it'll tell you at the top of the screen, this is version 2.2, I believe, the one we're looking at, because there was no bar at the top of the screen in version 1 where you could type in Ken and he would show up. It was hilarious. Apparently, I didn't get to see it.
Apparently, it was hilarious.
Ken was very upset about that and said, "Get it out of there! I don't want to see that crap." And so they immediately released version 1.2. But then later on with 2.2, which is the one I played, 2.2, I think I installed it from 2.2. I think I installed it from like the CD collection from 2006, which is the one I had. But it's very true to the original for the most part.
Yeah, they're all.
I'm not typing left 100 times.
No, hell no, dude. At some point, it's just asking too much. I'm telling you, it's just too much.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It's fun for nostalgia purposes to do it a couple of times, but to really make this game playable in modern sense, I mean, you're definitely going to want at least basic functionality of being able to, go back and forth and toggle.
Did we find out why they got so bunged up in development for this new game they're making, and why so many years and different funding and all that? Do we know what's going on?
I have a theory. I can't tell you, but I have a theory because I didn't learn about space venture until the very end of my Space Quest research. And it sounded like that they kind of had a bad end as a partnership, and so they were able to forget that. And in 2014, 2015, something like that, they were able to get back together because they realized those are good days. Sure, they had their little falling out, but it was mostly because of management that kind of put them in an unfortunate situation that kind of pitted them against each other. So they got back together. Problem with remembering how good things were and not having management riding your ass. You have 2 creative people and they just get together and they decide they're going to do something with nobody really riding their butt, making them make the hard cuts. You can get kind of languishy, you can kind of like
feature creep,
fall in love with your own things. Yeah. And you just kind of, that's my theory. I don't know if that's a factor.
I feel like that's,
I just feel like their personalities.
I think that's probably, there's something to that. Now, you and I both know Chris Pope, who's a longtime member of the community.
Chris Pope.
He's working with those guys, and I think we're trying to work out details, but I think I'm going to get to interview him and talk about the state of that thing. So we'll know more about that soon, but I'm excited because I want to know what some modern ideas are. What are you going to apply to this? What are the challenges? I'm assuming a big challenge here is to be funny,
Right.
It's a parody. Right. You're not trying to be some super serious sci-fi drama. You're trying to be funny. That's hard.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine that this script they probably wrote dates back. I mean, we've had a lot of changes since 2014 when they first originally kicked this off, and had game engine changes. That's one of the delays they did run into was the game engine they were using was kind of outdated, so they had to redo it.
Started
so
over,
that was another couple of years right there. You got a lot of your assets. Maybe you can transfer some of them, but who knows? But those are kind of hard cuts that somebody at the top would go, nope. we're just we're rolling it out in version 1.5. We'll come back and do something. But I'm interested because they're definitely going to be using more of I'm assuming they're using more of a point and click type adventure, which is more like the part 4, 5, and 6, as opposed to this one was called, which is the AGI. Which, by the way, you can develop games in AGI now. There's Adventure Game Interpreter.
It's like kind of like having Scum, where you can just go work with it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's cool. I wouldn't
run this in Scum too, by the way.
Really? You could run this in Scum. That's cool.
You could run it in Scum. Yeah, is Scum is taken all text parsing adventures and said, welcome in.
Welcome to Scum.
We'll find a way to make you work.
Come to Scum, they say.
Come to Scum. It's amazing, boy. But yeah, I didn't realize how important hint books were until this game.
It's everything in this game. This game needs it. You can't play it without it. I'm telling you.
You can't play it without it.
You're wasting your time.
I love digging through the packaging. My original packaging, I got mine secondhand, and so I didn't have all the manual and everything in it. Didn't have the little cards and everything, but I was able to look at some of the stuff online, well preserved. And you could order like a hint book for $7.99. So you get the game $30, then $7.99 you get a hint book. Hint book comes with those things I kind of totally forgotten about. Do you remember those little cards? So you get a book, and the book would be like regular text like you normally read, but then there'd be like blocks of red, and then you would get a card like a little window in it with like a red film on it. Mm-hmm. And you would place that over top of the red section, and you could read. Yeah. You could read what was up behind it. That was important. It's a
little decoder thing, a little fake thing. Yeah. They used to put it with like Cracker Jacks and stuff. You could pull those out and do little decoder things with them. Same idea. Right.
And that was one solution. Before then was invisible ink, but I think all the ones I saw came with the little window. And the reason why I had a small window is because they gave you hints and tips on how to use the hint book. You would go down one at a time. So you would start at the top of a section. So they would present the problem to you that you were probably going to run into. And then you would go underneath there, and it would give you a very light hint. And then you would scroll and you go down a little bit more, and it'd give you a little more information. And so that the trick basically is to figure out the solution with as few hints as possible. That's the way they recommend you use the hint book.
Yeah.
Not me. I will always go straight down to the bottom. What the hell is going on?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to. I mean, I understand the game. What am I? The gamification of it is almost like board game thinking, and it worked. It was good. Yeah. It was fun. But I don't play like that now. I need to.
Yeah, I don't play like that. I'm not doing this. It really kind of ticked me off because they tried to bring the humor to the hint book as well. And so like the first hint was always like, "Are you sure?" And it's like, dude, really? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I paid $7.99 for the hint book, right?
Yeah, you paid for it. You may as well left.
Tell me the answers. I'm a janitor in space.
Look at this scene. It's very Tatooine, Mos Eisley.
It's very Tatooine. We've got an homage here to the Han shot first in the canteen.
The canteen in Mos Eisley.
The cantina. Mos Eisley. There you go. You nailed it.
Yeah. It's never been a more scum. Oh my gosh. And they have the Blues Brothers playing on the stage. I forgot about that.
They got the Blues Brothers playing on stage. Any chance to give any type of humor, they were always looking.
I think the style, like I'm saying about these characters, I actually think it works and holds up, and the new one ought to use this style. I don't have a problem with it. Like you can still, I buy a lot of games that do this sort of thing. Like new games have embraced this old ass, 16-bit or less computer style. I'm in. Right. I'm in on this. I like it a lot.
It's hilarious. I mean, when you look at it and you have these goofy little characters, they got these goofy little walks, and it just puts you in a place of this game doesn't take itself too serious, right?
Yeah.
So
it also just really tweaks your imagination. If you can just forget about all the cool advancements we've seen since then and just really sink yourself into the feel of this, it does a really good job of creating that world. It's fun. I like it.
And if you had to play this, if you played this come out on like the PC, the Amiga, I don't think the Commodore 64 had one. Anyway, there was several 8-bit computers, and
they all sounded like this. By the way, this is the music.
Yeah. So that is
wow. Really
what you're hearing is computer speak. As a computer speaker, if you had the Amiga version, that had so the Tandy version and the Amiga version had full on sound with like a Sound Blasters type card.
Yeah.
Which
is what everybody pined for that, but at the time you were like, no, beeps and boops. That's what we're getting.
Beeps and boops. That's what you got. Yep. So it wasn't like a lot of music or anything. Just you going. You didn't even hear him walking. You just went across the screen.
Nope. And it was good enough for us.
Use your imagination.
Yeah. Creative Labs wasn't begging me for money yet. You just had what you had.
Yeah.
So weird now. Isn't it weird now?
But you get three voice playback on the PC Junior and the Tandy 1000.
That's true.
Oh,
that's true.
Look out.
Yeah, 3 voices at once, sort of, kind of. So that's Space Quest 1, which, by the way, had a subtitle, the Sarien Encounter.
Yeah, they all had like their own little titles.
Yep.
And it's kind of an indication what was going on. In this first one, you're the unwitting hero you don't mean to be the hero. You're just a janitor trying to catch a nap and end up having to save the world.
Yep. And you got mini games. Look at this one right here. We got a little bit of the old Las Vegas one-armed bandit going on.
One-armed bandit,
yeah. I noticed it swore too. It said "Holy shit" when you got it right. Oh, look at this! Look, ZZ Top. I never saw this when I was in there. Look at the ZZ Top guys. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh!
This game will continue to reward you for exploration and coming back to areas and stuff. That's the thing. It always felt engaging.
Yeah, it's part of the deal with this series.
Deal. There's also a Madonna in there, by the way.
Oh, shut up. For real? I never saw that either.
Yeah, never saw that one either.
All right. Shows what I know. Hold on a second. Where's my phone? My wife says I have a code that she needs to live and survive, and I don't have my...
Oh, no. She doesn't get the code in 30 seconds. Oh, my God.
I think
this
phone's
is the worst
upstairs.
game ever.
It's upstairs. Hold on.
This is the worst game ever.
Yeah, it is.
What do you do?
Okay, there
what
it
does
is.
Scott do? This is chooses your own adventure. Does Scott continue play retro, or
sorry, I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something that needed a code, and I'm like, honey, I'm on the show. What are you doing? It's a weird time. She's not used to me recording now, so that's why.
It's okay. Yeah. It's unusual for us.
So now we go from our 16-color EGA graphics and our sparse sound design to Space Quest 2, where we also had sparse sound design. But I think VGA by then. I know they did a remake.
No, I think was it still? Yeah, the remake hadn't come out yet. The remake doesn't come out until 1991. We get our remake and we get our point and click on and everything else. But this is just the following year, 1987.
Well, that's right.
They had proved themselves. The higher ups at Sierra were not convinced entirely, Ken, that this was going to be a good thing. As a matter of fact, they had to sell this thing to begin with. They had to develop like 4 screens to even get started on the project. But once they did, they proved themselves, sold well, and they came back for Space Quest 2, Vohaul's Revenge in 1987. Roger Wilco is back, and guess what? Sludge Vohaul is looking for a little revenge after you stopped his diabolical scheme to take over the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to fire up that gaseous planet and start a new star, but not if he has anything to do with it.
It had a slightly this was my experience, so you tell me what you think, but it had a slightly slower pace to it, the second one. It felt a little, I don't know what my vibe was, but something felt slower.
You could have, well, it could be that, or it's according to which version you played too.
Yeah,
you could speed this up. You could go with faster speed.
Yeah, there's an emulator. There's emulator settings, but also I think the game itself had some speed settings.
No, the game had the build. I think with version 2.2 you could speed up any of them. In the original, you had to type in faster, I think, but using the text parser button here, you could just hit the function keys and
yeah, it was something like that, and that may have been why it felt slower to me. But it also, the view of it was a little closer in, and I'm gonna say that's a good thing. I think it benefited from larger sprite for Roger, larger ship sprites. Yeah. Like this scene right here is just I don't know. There was something where things scaled a little bit better perspective. That's mostly on the art, and like just improving it or whatever. But
just learning.
Yeah, it's an improvement overall. I think two is a nice step forward for what is essentially, the same. It's the same kind of game.
It's the same engine. It's the same guys writing the stories. It's the same superhero character, Roger Wilco. So yeah, it's more of the same, which is fine because that's what we wanted. Give me more of the same. I had a great time the first time around. Make me laugh. Give me more. Let's see what Roger Wilco can do. And this time, just like in the first one, you have the opening scene where you're like on a ship and then you're on a planet. And it's kind of the same here, but you get off here a lot faster, and on the planet, you spend a lot more time on the planet, solving environmental puzzles, and trying to rub berries on yourself so you can get into the swamp.
That's right.
Oh, Planet of the Apes, by the way.
Oh, I love this stuff. Yeah, this stuff's great.
Here.
It's really good. Look at those ape faces. Oh man, great. I really do. I can't say this enough. I think the sprite work is so evocative of the things they're representing. Like I look at that and immediately go, Planet of the Apes. Those are freaking, Cornelius looking ass soldier apes or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they do just such a great job with that silhouette thing in games where just the shape of something will tell you a lot about it. And they're great at that with just very few, pixels and colors and lines. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
You could almost get away with at least part of the game, that first one, without a hint book, but there ain't no way you making through this without a hint book.
No.
'Cause I swear.
Hell no.
You gotta find you gotta find things that are not visible on screen. You have to walk around and look.
I'd argue all the games. I don't even care if you stop it. If you keep going after 3, they all need it. All of them need a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
This should be called Roger Wilco's You Need a Book. That should be the name.
I know. The book does not come with this game is what it should be called.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Roger Wilco : Space Quest : Quest for the damn book. That's it.
Right, quest for the book.
Yeah.
Too bad they didn't make. They should have. What they should have done and made the two guys. They should have had to answer the phone, do a Nintendo hotline kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Answer my question.
Did they have?
Why?
Did Sierra do that a lot? Didn't they have something like that?
I don't think they did that at all. No, I don't think they did that.
I thought they had a thing where you could call in and.
Did they?
That could be wrong.
I wouldn't think they would have the staff unless they hired somebody outside. But I didn't get that far. Like I said, I just got through Space Quest 1, 2, and 3. And I didn't play that many Sierra games back in the day. So everything that I've learned has been through this show right here.
And it may have been later.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember famously, Sierra was the company that first published Half-Life when it came out. Valve wasn't self-publishing. So, it may have been then where they had some number. I just, at some point they had an 800 number or maybe even a toll line that I could call and say, I need help with whatever, Rise of the Middle Kingdom or whatever. Yeah.
I feel like they were making the most profit off their hint books.
Yeah, dude.
I think the hint books was almost 100% profit. It's that other thing, it's we can sell you the game, but there's cost in the box and everything else. It's but this hint book, $7.87, $8. EA's
it's in the game, but Sierra's it's in the books. That's what they should.
It's in the books. You'll never figure this shit out. Good luck.
Now you got to wait a couple years for the third game. That means they've got some time to tweak and mess around and be.
I got to say, but I think I enjoyed the second one the most, even though I spent way more time on the planet. It just seemed the most organic, and the challenges were fun and sometimes frustrating. And oh my God, I had some bad saves where I thought I had saved it at one point and I didn't, and that meant I had to go all the way back. At that point in time, I was like, F you, Space Quest 2. Vohaul's Revenge. More like Butthole Revenge.
Yeah, that game does not have. There's no way back from bad saves. Are either you'll quit the game or you'll go back and start over. And back then you would, because that's what games were. Right. You didn't have all these conveniences. So what you would do is if your save sucked and you locked yourself, you basically painted yourself into a corner you couldn't get out of. I guess I'm playing this game again. Hey, Mom, don't wait up. I'll be playing this game again.
Oh, you have no idea how I had thought I was almost done. I'm like, oh, I'm almost done. I can consider myself, 10% into the game.
Yep.
And then I would find out, oh, I'm only at 2% because I have a bad save. So before I go to bed, I got to get back to 10%.
Yep.
And I did that more than once. And I say 2 is my favorite. There was a lot of stuff to like about 3. And maybe if I had more time with 3, I would like it better. I know that most people consider 3 the best.
3's real good.
But I found some of the stuff. Yeah, some of the stuff kind of didn't click with me, but maybe if I had more time with it.
I like 3's aesthetic. Look at this. Look at this pixel work.
So good.
They really open it up.
Visually,
this is no longer it feels kind of epic and big, even though it's still a parody. Here in a second, you'll see some big character graphics, which they don't do any of in 1 and 2. Here it is. Watch this. Okay, so the pod, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip ahead here. Blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Okay. All right, game. There we go. Look at that. Look at Roger Wilco, all flat-faced, looking all Elon Musk with a turd on his head. Yeah. Perfect.
Turd on his head. Yeah, just like a big banana. It's like I got a banana peel for hair. Yeah. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is. But they were definitely going for a new vibe here, a new look. And I think it largely
color palette
succeeds.
kind of expands a little bit too. I think we're in 16 color EGA I think in 2 and 3 we had 16 color EGA.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I think even
maybe 256.
2 definitely did. I think 1 may have. Can't remember.
I played all of these in Windows 3.1 on my Mr. FPGA.
Yeah.
So I actually grabbed the 2006 ROM off one of my favorite sites because I was not going to go out in my garage and get the 2006 version that someone had sent me.
Yeah. What are you crazy? Of course you're.
What am
do
I
it.
crazy?
Yeah.
I actually thought about it. I was like, I really need to go get that disc. And I was like, oh, there's so much stuff piled out there. You know what's easier? Click. So I did that, and then I loaded up into the Windows 3.1 on my
TIE
Mr.
Fighter.
FPGA.
Sorry, I said TIE Fighter.
And TIE Fighter. It's all there. You know what? The more I look at this, maybe I did like 3 the best.
3's really cool, man. 3's the one I got. I think it may have been the one I first got introduced to. I don't think I knew about 1 or 2.
Mine.
I played some of everything because I had friends with computers that could do it or whatever. But I feel like 3's the one I dug into.
Do it.
Yeah. I think I really got into this one. It was really fun. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, this is Space Quest 3, the Pirates of Pestulon, is that right?
Yep,
And
Pestulon.
this is where you're kind of like, it's almost like you're shrunk here at the very beginning because you're on the collector's ship, right?
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, but you definitely gonna need a hint book on this one too. This is
that's the other thing is don't think your hint book needs have stopped or changed just because there's a different font this time. And this game features all these new fonts. Don't think that means any of this is going to be easy. All right, that's all I'm saying.
No,
that grinder right there, that thing ate me 4, 5, 6 times before I got it right. So.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got the hint book and started scrolling down and going, oh, you got to type in stand. Oh, and then you got to type in jump. And it's good because the game pauses when you start. So in this version, you just, as soon as you start typing anything on the keyboard, it pauses the action on screen while you type in the text parser. So here you would, when you get to the top of a little bucket that raises you up to a platform that this slowly taking you into something to grind you up. You have to quickly type in stand and then jump, but you got to know to do that.
Yeah. How would you know?
There's
no tutorial about that. I mean, I don't want to complain. We talk about retro games for a reason. This is back before that stuff, but this thing really throws your nuts in a twist when you hit these things.
I love it though. I complain and it's kludgy, and modern life says that I'm too busy and there's too many things vying for my attention to find pleasure in the mundane. But back in 89, sign me up.
Plus, look at this shit.
The whole weekend.
Guy. Look at that.
Trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's that that cyborg looking dude is so.
It's rad.
That is. We're on the cusp of the 90s here, people.
Yeah.
It is 1989, but we're just about to get rad.
Things are about to get real stupid real quick and in the best way possible. And we're
terminating.
Yeah, I love this stuff. Just the look of it, the feel of it. It's so good. Terminator was, I guess that was 84. So that was a ways ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This might even been inspired by Terminator 2, right?
Terminator 2 came out in 91, 92?
Is that right?
91.
That sounds wrong. You're a liar.
Let me get that.
Just kidding.
Terminator
I don't know.
2.
You may be right.
I'll tell you real quick because I can't remember either. It was 1991. So yeah, it was a little later. But
oh wow! See, yeah.
Maybe Terminator. Maybe Terminator 2 is inspired. Maybe James Cameron's like, man, I love me some Space Quest. I'm gonna take some ideas.
It's brilliant. I love it. I mean, I just love how they just never quit on these purples and blues and greens that they had in this game. They kept that stuff.
Look at that. Look at the guy. Look at him. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, this 3's great, dude. I'm telling you right now, 3's the jam. 3's the one to play.
I think I remember why I was having trouble. This one had a lot more action breaking scenes where they would break in with a whole bunch of text. And I think after the kind of faster moving Space Quest 2, I felt a little bit cheated because I felt like I wasn't controlling as much. But man, watching this, this looks so much better.
It's cool. And the Terminator stuff made sense because 84 was the original Terminator. Those ideas were here. So it's totally fine.
Fits in.
But look at him. I'm going to get you.
He's beefy. Oh, he disappeared.
Oh,
he's beefy.
Zip. Well,
zippity doo dah.
Watch out, world. Space Quest 3 is still a threat. It's a damn fine game. I think this is probably my favorite. Now, I did not revisit the newer stuff, including the remake of 1.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that stuff. I didn't play any of it.
I did play a little bit.
What'd you think
of the remake, unintentionally, actually, because I didn't understand what was on my collection. Because I was like, because I bought the one on Steam and I downloaded it, and that was the one I originally just copied over, and it was actually all funky on me. So I was like, okay, I need to get the CD. But anyway, I played the VGA remake. Start with, and I was like, oh, I don't remember it being this advanced. I thought it looked a lot more, arcane than than 4, but. Then I started doing some reading. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, they really remade it. It's VGA. It's got all the colors, 256 color graphics. It looks really good. It looks good. It does look good. You know what? I'm gonna go. It looks good.
You know what? It looks all right. It looks fine.
It looks good. And it's pretty much the same game, same puzzles, but you have they're using the SGI engine now, like you would see in all the starting with King's Quest 4 and in Space Quest 4, where you do more pointing and clicking. You have a little icon that pops up with your eye, hand, and you kind of cycle through them and to kind of click on the screen to decide what you're going to do. And that's basically all this has as well.
Writing was on the wall.
Pretty much everything's original.
That point and click writing was on the wall. Yeah. They were going to have to do that. If they don't do that. It really
is a better game mechanic. I mean.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you think? I think so.
Much better. It's just, well, how about not a better game mechanic, but a better user
better user experience. And that's clear. It's clear because that's where everybody went. Like, it's not like they were the only game series to change. In fact, I think they changed in reaction to others doing that. But yeah, point and click, baby. Mice were coming along. We had to go that way. That was the deal.
Yeah. But I do have a fondness in my heart for text parsing, where you have to say look, and you have to say look around room, and nothing is too fast, nothing is spoon fed to you. By the way, I love these aliens, character design and stuff. Got full animation.
He's great.
Yeah, is this the VGA version?
No,
this is 3 still.
This is still CG or CG EVGA. What
EGA.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. CGA was later, or was that first? Which one was CGA? Was after EGA?
It was CJ, then EGA, then VGA. Right? Is that right? I thought Terminator was earlier than 91. So what do I know?
CGA was so.
Which this Monday night.
CGA was really brief. It's like a flash in the pan, like we had it for a hot second, and that went away. Yeah. We got right over it. We leaped it. I think it was middle. I think CGA was in the middle.
You think CGA was in the middle?
I think so.
You would think so, because it seems like color graphics, extended graphics. Is it enhanced? What does E stand for? Now I can't even remember. Oh my God. Now I feel like a moron.
I don't know. Oh, look at this, dude. Look at this.
I used to know this. I used to know this stuff.
This comic book view of these two pixel men. It's amazing. Well, that's good stuff. All right. Well, there you go.
Color, with EGA, all 16 CGA colors can be used simultaneously, and each can be mapped in from a large palette of colors to CGA's alternate brown color. Okay, so it sounds like EGA was CGA, EGA, and VGA.
Okay, right. It felt like CGA and EGA both were so brief; it just went right over their heads. Maybe it's because of what I was doing, but
probably.
I mean, the very next year after the remake, I was on my way to work at a company who we sold computers to universities, and one of the big jumps when I got there was everything was this VGA monitor, and they were all these like 12, 13-inch things, and they were expensive as hell, and everybody wanted one.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? This is crazy.
You have no idea how hot, like when 17 inches came out, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Now because
we all live with 15 inches forever, right? 15 felt like it lasted forever.
Oh yeah, for a long time. 15 was huge for a very, very long time.
Oh my God.
Once while they were flat, and it was like, whoa. But this thing, so I'm using a curved widescreen 21 by 1 or whatever the hell that ratio is screen here, and I realize I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 8 of those 12-inch VGA monitors stacked into a big long rectangle.
Nice.
All for less money for this whole thing.
Sexy.
With 4,000 whatever resolution, 4K on this thing. For
told you
less money than one of those 12 inches back in the day. Crazy.
I'm telling you. Crazy. Computer screens are going to be cheaper than drywall soon.
Yeah.
And we're just all going to have TV walls.
In 2021, when I got my last time I got a TV, that thing was way too expensive. But we wanted to get something that lasted a long, long time. And it's been great, and I have no reason to upgrade it. However, I go into a Costco now, and I'm like, pennies on the dollar.
85 inches?
I mean, that may change tomorrow. with the new tariffs and stuff. But we'll see, because right now TVs are stupid cheap. Yeah.
For now.
Anyway, the VGA remake happened in 1991. Definitely worth checking out if you want to play the original. I would play, if I was to say, hey, people are like, I want to play the original game and I just want to do it, I would do that. I get the remake.
Yeah.
Personally. I would play 2 in its current form, and I just think 3 kind of towers over all of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, they tried to do 2, and there's been a bunch of fan things that almost took off. There's a whole bunch of fan stuff out there. Some of it's been smashed, some of it hasn't. Microsoft has Sierra's properties right now, right? And isn't that who's currently
Sierra,
holding the because it wasn't
Microsoft owns all the old IPs.
Yeah, because Sierra has a tragic end.
Yeah, it's not great.
And how it's sold, and then the company it's sold to is like doing a bunch of cooking the books, and Sierra just got
we've talked about that a little bit before, but that's a gnarly. There's some cool, some decent YouTube documentaries about it that I would recommend checking out, because it's not happy. Yeah. It's not good. However, the fact that they ended up, I think Activision was the last one to hold the rights, but ended up in Microsoft's hands, could mean the rebirth of some of these IPs. I don't know. You know, they could. Yeah. You could argue.
Could be.
You could argue Obsidian's Outer Worlds, which Microsoft also owns Obsidian. Ooh. You could argue the Outer Worlds series, which the second one comes out this year, is kind of one of these. It's just a first-person version of one of these. Like, it's a parody of it's mostly a parody of like interspatial capitalism, but still, it's got that vibe of like kind of jokey haha, but also shocking moments of violence and that kind of thing. Like, it's kind of like where this would have ended up if they'd have kept going. So anyway,
I mentioned earlier. So of course, keep your eyes out for Space Ventures from the two guys from Andromeda. It's supposed to drop sometime this quarter on Steam. We'll see if it happens or not.
Yep.
There's one that I just posted in a Discord server. If you're looking for more games like this, it just kind of want to goof around a little bit. Hey, this game kind of goofs around anyway. Sierra Games, Sierra.games has a subdomain called AGI. That's that original game engine. And there's one on there that kind of caught my eye.
This is cool, dude. Why'd you tell me about this before? This is awesome. Look at this.
There is a Fallout, which is kind of funny because some of the early stuff kind of crosses this path anyway. But yeah, so if you like Space Quest for space and sci-fi, how about a little bit of Fallout and post-apocalyptic type setting?
And you can play it right here in your browser. You just play it in your browser is the point. But Brian's missing the headline here. Just go click it and hit play.
Just click it.
Yeah.
And play.
I love this.
It's got all these bad puns. It's got all the same. It's got the same the same 8/16 colors and everything else. It's got the same font. It all looks. It's AGI. It's that AGI engine, man. Looks like it.
I'm playing this.
Make your own point.
What do we got for audio for that? Hold on.
Text.
Oh, we got some decent audio. Some MIDI.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
more
for
like
F6.
The later stuff that you would find.
It's swearing.
Yeah.
I love it when it swears.
Oh yeah, it's got some swearingtons. It's got some swear.
Freaking scared me.
And they even like to reuse the some of the looks like Roger Wilco characters.
It totally does.
It's pretty brilliant.
It totally does. I keep trying to fast forward, but you can't. This isn't a video. I may have to play this. I didn't know this was a thing.
But cool.
What's the domain again for people who need to write this down?
This is agi.sierra.games. And from there, you can go to Apocalyptic Quest.
Nice.
Is the name of the game that you're looking for.
Check it out. I may have to fiddle with that.
AGI Sierra Games.
Well, like we said, we'll maybe have more. If I can get a hold of Chris Pope, we have a little conversation. You'll learn even more about their upcoming game. And, see where all this goes. Yes, sir. What were you going to say? You went,
Pope. That's what I was saying. Pope. Call Pope.
Oh, they said, like you missed something. But Pope, I like Pope. Yelling Pope is good, too. That's probably good to do because the Pope, we may get a new Pope. And when that happens, someone's going to yell Pope.
We may get a new Pope.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're about to today's headline was Pope has 2 oxygen. What exactly was respiratory events?
Yeah, they thought he was getting better. So. He was stable, and then I think as of today, it had to go back in for something. So I don't know.
Yep.
About to see the conclave for real, baby.
For reals.
That movie's great. People should see it. That's gonna do it for our game. Let's play a game we made up though. One we made up together. And that game is called Guess My Game.
Destroy it.
Take audio from an old game. We then assemble it in such a way that each other can hear what's going on, and then we try to guess what it is. We get 4 possible answers, a platform, and a year, and that is it. Here is your game.
That's it.
Here's your platform and your year, Brian, for the one I brought. You ready?
Ooh, okay, give me.
Here we go. Arcade, 1987. We're in the same era here as our game today. So Arcade, 1987. Here is your game. Okay, it just goes like that forever. This sort of sound. It's lots of shooting. All right, so that game is one of these following. You're going to have to tell me which it is. Is it A? Chat says Choplifter. Jeez. A, Rolling Thunder. B, Top Gunner. C, The Gunning Gun Men of Gunner Town. Or D, Ikari Warriors. So again, your options are Rolling Thunder,
right.
Top Gunner, The Gunning Gunmen of Gunner Town, or Ikari Warriors.
I mostly played Rolling Thunder on my Sega Master System. I did play the arcade version a couple of times, and I don't remember it being that action-packed. Top Gunner, or the Gunning Gunmen of Gunner Town, or Ikari Warriors. I don't think it's the Warriors. Is it gonna be B, Top Gunner?
Top Gunner, you think it might be Top Gunner? Not too close to Top Gun, you think? Might not be.
I was curious about that. That was kind of worrying me.
Well, if you're going with it, I can tell you if you're right or not. You ready for that? Are you good?
All right, give me the juice. Give me the juice, baby. Is it a B?
You are correct. You are correct. It is B.
Yeah.
Top Gunner is a top scrolling one of those. What I liked about it is you're in a Jeep. So you're firing a regular gun in the Jeep, but then you have a guy in the back seat who occasionally will like lob a grenade, and you can upgrade those grenades and the machine gun. It's an awesome game, dude. Top Gunner.
I do remember these.
Freaking love that game.
It's kind of like is it kind of like a beefed up? Is it Commando?
Yeah, like Commando, like that. Yeah. Ikari Warriors.
Ikari
Warriors is very similar to top down. A couple of Rambo guys, pushing through the
Rambos,
making war. 90s style,
war.
80s, 90s
Not
style.
love.
No, very cold war.
I ain't got no time for love.
Yeah, that's the stuff. All right, Brian, let's hear yours. You've got give me your hint, your platform and your year, please.
All right, so I watch another Twitch streamer. Her name is That Girl Joey, and she was playing a game I had never seen before, and it was for the Commodore 64, and the year was 1988.
88. Let's hear that sound, Chip.
Yeah.
Damn. Hold on, let me skip out around over there. All right.
Personally, I think this slaps. I love it.
It's pretty good. I like it. All right. What are my options? What do you got?
All right, Commodore 64, 1988. Here are your options. Is it A, Dizzy? These are all real games, by the way. A, Dizzy. B, Pac-Land. C, Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Or D, Chubby Gristle.
Chubby Gristle, baby.
Chubby Gristle.
I love that name, whether it's real or not. I freaking love it. These are all real games, though, you say. Right?
These are all real games.
All right. I can eliminate B because Pac-Land has a very specific soundtrack. That is not it. This is better than that, but that is not the Pac-Land soundtrack. Dizzy? I don't know what Dizzy is. Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Well, this is one of those we're going to have to choose what I want it to be.
All right.
Because I don't know enough. I'm going to say D, Chubby Gristle.
Scott says give him the D, and I'm going to have to give him the D because it is Chubby Gristle.
It really is? I just wanted it to
on
be.
On the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore 64, it is Chubby Gristle.
Oh my gosh.
It is a hodgepodge of platforming and just that wonderful off-key tune that I
that you.
I love.
So look at that. Look at this. Look at this little guy. Is that Chubby Gristle jumping? Is that him?
Of course, he's the chubby gristlist.
Is he made of something? Has he got gristle in him?
Gristle.
Okay.
Gristle.
This looks like fun, dude. This looks like a fun. This reminds me of Hard Hat Mac. I was getting a vibe.
That's a good comparison. It's kind of like those. There was a time when there were these weird platformers that just it was like, well, is there going to be a theme to your game? Yeah, flashing sprites.
Yep, that's
of
it.
all kinds.
Yep, that's
floating
it.
heads,
Stuff to go grab,
blob.
ladders to climb, and then nonsense. You're 100% correct. I love this
stage
shit.
by stage.
Big fan of this stuff. This looks awesome. Love the style of this. Look at the weird.
I love the style. I love the music.
Single colors for each sprite. It's weird.
Yep. Very ZX. I meant to go back and look, but it looks to me like it was originally made for the ZX Spectrum because a lot of the games look like that, and then maybe ported to the Commodore 64. I'm not sure about that, but
that's freaking wild, man.
I enjoy that song.
Chubby Gristle. Yeah. It's fantastic. All right. Well, I win today, and so do you.
We both won. Look at that.
Yep. Nobody lost today. That's the important thing to remember. No. I'd like to welcome something to retro because something got old, and we're going to play this now. So here you go. Welcome to Welcome to wrestling. Welcome to Retro Ford Racing 3, March 1st, 2005. Yeah, that's right. From the Model T to the 2005 Mustang GT. Featured a variety of vehicles from the Ford manufacturer. Jump behind the wheel of your favorite car and then test your driving skills on challenging courses, including raceway, rally, and off-road competitions. You can unlock more tracks and vehicles in single-player races, or you can race against your friends online and in multiplayer modes.
Yeah, look at that. Ford Racing 3 finally made it to 20 years. And oddly, I had also spent a good bit. There was several that were turning this week, and I picked this one because I had forgotten that Ford used to give away driving simulators.
Oh.
So you would go in and they would give you the driving simulator and you could load it up on disc and basically test drive a car in the most rudimentary test drive possible.
Yep.
It was kind of
lame.
Awful.
Kind of lame and awful.
Great.
It's not great, but
yeah. But this is the real deal. This is Ford Racing. This is good stuff.
Yeah, this is a real game. And I remember it was a big deal for a while where the different car manufacturers were starting to get into video games where the games
Viper
were
Racing, Dodge. Oh, I love
the VW thing on the N64. I was a big fan of that. What was that called? Shit, I'd love that game.
VW.
I can't even remember the name, but it was all bugs. It was all Beatles.
Yeah.
And
is that a Microsoft thing?
No, I don't think so.
Beatlemania. No, that's
no, Nintendo. That's great. Nintendo. It was a Nintendo only thing, and no other console had it. It was so good though. Freaking love it.
Right.
Yeah. Look at this thing. Driving this truck. You're driving through town. This looks like freaking Chernobyl. Where the hell are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I love it. Driving your little Ford truck, your Ford pick-em-up truck. If you were a Chevy guy, you'd be like, get this crap out of my house.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. Anyway, welcome to Retro Ford Racing 3.
Where's Calvin at?
It's nice to have you. Yeah, where the hell's Calvin?
Calvin needs to be pissing on that bow tie right there is what needs to happen.
All right. Well, on that note,
welcome to the treasure room.
That's right. Ways to contact us. There's a few, but the one I want to tell you about the most today is voicecast.app/playretro. And the reason I want you to use that is they just introduced text to the mix. So you not only can you go there and do a voicemail real easy and real quick, but you can also go there and write a quick like you would do an email or a text. You just send that instead. It's got that option. It's really great, and I love it. That just launched this week, so brand new feature there. But if you want to keep using it for voice stuff, that's fine too. It's free. It doesn't mean you don't have to sign up for anything. You just go, you use it, you're done. And we're going to hear this one from Gabe, who has this to say.
This is Gabe, and this is about a retro game. I just saw a picture of a Discworld point-and-click game, and I'm a big Discworld head. And so I was wondering if any of you have played the Discworld point-and-click games. Are they worth it? And where can I get my sticky Discworld hands on them? Because I was not able to find them on Steam, but maybe I missed it. Okay, take care. Love them all. 10 hands. Go. Oh, hands. 10 hams.
That's a core reference.
I know. I got it. Gabe's awesome. Yeah. Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, and I've briefly looked at the point and click, but I think I had to find. I think that one was abandoned. I can see that on Abandonware or Archive or someplace. We can't tell exactly where to get them at because I don't know if you can purchase this.
Probably gonna have to get them the tricky way,
eBay
somewhere.
Or if it's even available.
It was published by Psygnosis originally. There is some video on YouTube for it and stuff, but it's I found it. It's based on Terry Pratchett's novel, same names. Players assume the role of Rincewind the Wizard. Was it Rince? Yeah, Rince.
Mm-hmm.
Voiced by Eric Idle. He does the voicing. The dude what from Eric Idle from freaking Monty Python. Why do I have to tell anyone? Everyone knows.
Yeah, I love Monty Python. I got you with you. Would you guys to say it though?
Yeah. So you just have to say
Monty
it.
Python.
It was a big deal, and looks like there was a PlayStation and Saturn version, so maybe you can find those.
Yeah. I think, and it might have been the Saturn version that I actually was messing around with at the time, and we definitely need to get to Gabe didn't ask for an episode on it, but it's on my list of when we get back around to the Sega Saturn. I was hoping we could kind of take a look at something like that.
That seems cool. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves Terry Pratchett. Everybody misses him, and everyone loves his books. So why wouldn't you want to play a game with this? With Discworld?
So good.
Yeah.
The Discworld's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's huge and crazy, and I can't believe how much stuff there is. It's insane. I don't know where to start. Here's another one we got from Jamie, and this is all about a little bit of follow-up on the pole position thing.
Hey, Play Retro, it's Jamie. So listen to your episode on pole position, and I can't help but think when you were playing that incredible audio, when you can't really make out what the hell they're saying, that totally reminds me of I think it's the teacher from Charlie Brown, when you can barely make it out. Womp, 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 womp. Like, I would want you to play the pole position audio and then play the Charlie Brown audio back to back. There's a lot of similarities there. Anyways, love the show.
Thanks, man. So I found a little bit of that. Hold on. I don't have the comparison because I threw that other one away, but let's see.
Oh no, you threw away pole, but it's like the best paired to qualify. That's like the best thing ever. You talking about the one when you talked about you qualified, now time to race.
Yeah, whatever the hell she says. I barely understand what the hell she's saying. But here's the Charlie Brown thing. See, I'd argue that's more understandable than the pole position lady.
Right. At least you would understand that is a musical instrument.
Yeah. At least I know that's a trumpet or something. Voice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you're not wrong, Jamie. That is a good observation. I would love somebody to superimpose that on top of a pole position starting prepared to qualify.
I see all caps Claire's in the chat saying that Rob Brydon is in that Discworld thing. So
Discworld, yeah.
I don't know who Rob Brydon is. Probably somebody British or somewhere over there. I don't know. Remember, maybe he's Irish. I don't know.
Over there.
But when all caps Claire talks, we listen.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the guy. He's that guy. Yeah.
He's that dude. You know him. He's your friend, your pal. That guy.
Yeah, he's pretty pal.
I don't know who he is. And then Maddie wrote in. This just came in today. Check this out. Or called in and write in.
Hello, Scott and Brian. Maddie D here from Montreal, Canada. I was wondering if either of you ever finished Zelda 2 for the NES. It's my favorite game of all time. I love the game almost as much as I love your show. So have a good one, guys, and please let me know.
That's high praise.
That is, I'd love me some Canadians. And Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, I
never beat it.
Did not. I don't think I ever finished it. That is a really good one.
I cannot deal with the 2D side-scrolling stuff. I can't do it. I just can't. I tried.
At first I couldn't either. But I do have an appreciation for it now that I did not have before. But was it 2 that got me into it? I can't remember.
I played 1 to
I need
death,
to go back
and
and finish 2.
I think that's what jacked me up is 1, and then if you skip ahead past 2 and go to Super Nintendo Link in Time, and then pretty much from there on out, it was always this top-down isometric thing until it went 3D. And 2 decided to do this weird-ass thing, and it just threw me. I couldn't deal with it. I was probably just like the wrong attitude at the time. I was too young to think about it too much.
I'm used to Zelda tasting like this, and it tastes like that, and I'm not interested. Yeah, but it's great that you finished it. Loved it. That's one of the. like we talked about earlier, my GameCube is one of my favorite systems because it's probably one of the few systems that I've completed games on. I always completed them.
Yeah.
And with the NES, I didn't always complete them, but I would like to say that I've completed a few Zeldas, and I have. I've finished A Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, yep. How about Link's Awakening? You ever beat that? Because Awakening is...
Oh, I did beat that one. I did beat that one.
Love Awakening.
Two. Yeah, I've beaten 2. So
you've beaten 2. Awakening is not that, though. That's the Game Boy game that they remade for...
Right. And it's Switch. No, the
Switch.
Yeah, Switch. Yeah. Because I had the one on the Switch, too.
That game's awesome. One of the best. Almost. It's just this close to my favorite Zelda. My favorite Zelda is Wind Waker, but right up there is Link's Awakening. I love that game.
Yeah.
And you know what else is right up there? The 3DS game, Link Between Worlds. Oh, man. Oh.
I oddly like Majora's Mask. I know
I'm going to kill you.
A lot of people hate it.
I'm going to have to kill you.
I know a lot of people hate it. It's okay.
I'm going to have to, punch you in the back of the head.
Like it.
No, it's not allowed. I have to pinch your nut. I'm going to pinch off a testicle and throw it at the dogs. You're not allowed. Just kidding. You can have what you can have the mask. It's fine. Some people love that game.
Yeah.
I hate Majora's Mask.
I like it.
Hate it.
I like it.
Do you know why I hate it? It's the timer. It's the timer shit. I hate it.
It's the timer. Yeah, you do hate the timer stuff. That doesn't bother me.
Really bugs me in games, especially when it's just like so do or die. I just hate that. I don't like being told I don't have enough time to do a thing.
Mario. I take my time. You can't increase the music and expect me to run faster. Screw you.
That's right,
Mario.
Take that, jerks. Well, it's always so generous, and it's not the game. The whole game in Majora's Mask is tied to that damn clock. The day-night thing and all that.
As a matter of fact, I always forget in a lot of Mario games where you got a timer because they don't really let you know anything until it gets down to the wire, and it's like, oh, by the way, music's about to get faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you like it or not. All right, you guys, I want you to bookmark it. Go to voicecast.app/playretro. You can send your messages there, your voicemails, whatever you want. Super easy. Costs you nothing. You don't log into nothing. It's anonymous if you want it to be. Super, super easy. I absolutely love this service, and I'm using it for all the shows. voicecast.app/playretro. Our next,
you guys sound great.
That's right. Our next discussion is going to be something I've been wanting to do because there seems like there's a bit of a resurgence happening right now. People are trying to make SSX sort of 1080 snowboarding likes, Like I got something on my on Steam Deck now called Snow. It's like SOSNO, and that's it. It's just snow with no W.
They just dropped the W?
It's super edgy, man, like the 90s or something. But
crazy.
It's basically SSX.
Yeah, by the way,
it's the whole idea. Shredders, that's another one. Yeah.
During the late 90s, early 2000s, barely into early 2000s, we were doing what we called extreme sports. And SSX was one of those. 1080 was always my jam. I was always into that. And I never played the SSX series, but you guys have been so hot on the Discord server. And I did fire it up since I put my flippy drive in here. I did fire it up. And I got to tell you, I'm excited.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
EA Sports big.
Those games are so good. EA big. And they did the street stuff like for football and soccer and all that too. But the SSX series is where it all started. And all of them are good. But SSX 3 and Tricky.
Tricky. It's even got Run DMC in it. How very specific.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Yeah. The Tricky sits right in there. The SSX. So I was curious. I was like, oh, SS Tricky. I wonder if Trixie. I was wondering if they have some Run DMC in there. And sure enough, right there in the playlist. I didn't know you could mess with the playlist so much too.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had all kinds of cool stuff with the music. It's such a great series, and I'm so happy to see these new games coming around right now that are trying to emulate it because it's been a while. So we're going to talk all about it. SSX baby next week. Get ready for it, or be a jerk and don't. All right. We got to mention our Patreon. We got a brand new patron this week. Paula Martinez has joined the fray. Yay! Let's play something for her.
Paula Martinez. This is Ken Griffey Jr.
There you go. Welcome to the thing with the deal. You're awesome, and you know why? Because you're going to get no commercials or ads. You're going to get pre-show content every week and other cool benefits by signing up today. Be like Paula and sign up at patreon.com/playretro. Do it today. Our website has links to all of these things, including ways to contact us and everything else. That's frogpants.com/playretro. Ryan, that's it for us. Is there anything you'd like to say?
For us, God, you say that.
Yeah, sure is. You have anything to say to these people before you leave?
Absolutely. Make sure you go get a flippy drive. If you order now, I think it's on like about a month on the pre-order list now, so they're coming out pretty quick. I might order a second one. I have 4 Nintendo GameCubes. I think it's time to flip drive all of them.
Yeah, look at you just running them all night, burning ROMs. I love it.
They've also got the network card adapter for it, so you can chain them so you can play some Mario Kart on 4 different. You can play an 8-player Mario Kart.
Insanity. Crazy.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Do it. That's it, everybody. Thanks for being here. Go play something retro. We'll see you next week.
Hello, I'm a tailor, and your pant size is frog. You're always welcome at frogpants.com.
Yuck.